Hey guys, we're going to receive more news from Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys ex Tony Romo draws fans' accusations with Josh Allen takes. Former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo once entered the broadcast booth a darling on the headset, but his commentary during the AFC divisional round contest between the Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens has some fans enraged by bias. Frisco, Tony Romo has enjoyed the seat next to Jim Nantz on CBS, #1 NFL broadcast team for the last 8 seasons. The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback earned the coveted gig right after retiring from his playing career and has been a part of a handful of memorable broadcast moments on the network since the 2017 season. Brand new to the field, Romo's ability to predict and analyze plays before they happened caught the attention of many. His star quickly rose, working alongside Nantz, appearing on marquee games each week and throughout the AFC playoffs. Coinciding with Romo's tenure at CBS has been the rise of several elite quarterbacks within that conference. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow have taken the AFC by storm and seemingly have their teams in contention for a Super Bowl berth by year's end. The 2024 season has shown no exception, with Mahomes and Allen pitted against each other next week for the AFC Championship yet again. However, Allen and the Buffalo Bills had to go through Jackson's Ravens to get there. Sunday evening's dramatic contest delivered to its billing, with Buffalo edging out Baltimore. But during the game, some of Romo's comments sparked rage over social media. Romo dished out several hints of praise toward Allen throughout the contest, and his opinion expressed on a controversial pass interference call in the first half had fans accusing him of having bias toward the Bills' quarterback. Officials flagged Ravens corner Tre'Davious White for pass interference on a third down play that allowed the Bills to continue a drive that resulted in a touchdown before halftime. The call itself remains suspect as White and receiver Keon Coleman jousted for position down the sidelines, with the offensive player seeming the main culprit of the contact. CBS Rules analyst Gene Steratore was non-committal on the call, but Romo laid out a staunch defense of the call on the field. Could Romo have been on the wrong side of the decision here? Sure. But it seems the real issue at hand is the disgruntled audiences looking for a target to air their grievances upon. Having a part in so many big games, Romo is bound for such backlash, especially in these controversial situations. Saints set to meet with former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. The New Orleans Saints have not had many interviews so far this cycle, but on Monday, it was announced that the team will host both Mike Kafka and Anthony Weaver for in-person interviews later this week. The search is heating up, and per Nick Underhill, the Saints are set to have their first interview with former Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. The date for this interview is unknown due to the incoming snowstorm, but it will be this week. Depending on what happens with Glenn and the Jets Tuesday, the Saints may be able to meet with McCarthy as early as Wednesday. When Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys were not able to agree on a contract, the Saints were named as one of the main teams in pursuit of the former head coach. Since then, the Chicago Bears were the main team registering interest and meeting with McCarthy, but they have hired former offensive coordinator Ben Jonson as their next head coach. This opens up a path perfectly for Mike McCarthy's next head coach opportunity ending up in New Orleans, but it will really depend on Aaron Glenn's availability come Wednesday. Ben Jonson hire reveals brutally frank truth in Cowboys coach search. Fans are in an uproar after Ben Jonson, the top target in this year's coaching cycle, chose the Chicago Bears as his next destination after the Dallas Cowboys did not speak with him throughout this process. Frisco, the Dallas Cowboys head coaching search is in full swing with candidates starting to emerge. Kellen Moore has seemingly gained an inside edge, though surprise names spanning a wide spectrum like Deion Sanders, Jason Witten, and now Brian Schottenheimer have stolen some spotlight. Leslie Frazier, an outlier candidate in this process, interviewed with the team, marking the team's third interview in their search. He joins a short list of targets that have spoken with the Cowboys that includes Moore and Robert Saleh. Rather than what the Cowboys are doing to fill this vacancy, fans are drawing a focus toward what has not been accomplished here. Those grievances amplified with the Chicago Bears hire of Ben Jonson on Monday. The hire happens a bit faster than anticipated following the Detroit Lions' early exit from the postseason Saturday evening. However, the Bears had reportedly narrowed their search to two, Jonson and former Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy. But Cowboys fans, still engulfed in the culmination of disappointment and uncertainty of McCarthy's exit following a downtrodden season, see this as more reason to fire off their criticisms of the organization. Initially, those feelings are understandable. Dallas did not communicate with Jonson and showed no interest in what many presume to be the top target in this offseason's coaching cycle. However, that view ignores the brutally frank about Jonson's status in the Cowboys' coaching search. Jonson has the resume deserving to be a head coach in the NFL, but it was never happening here. Dallas' next head coach will likely come from one of two pools of candidates, one emphasizing connections to the franchise and the other stressing head coaching experience. Jonson does not fit either group and would have been a hire outside the norm. In addition to Dallas not moving on him, it's possible that the Cowboys knew he was Chicago-bound all along and therefore didn't bother with any charade. No matter what dramatic stir from this Jonson news, they do not change the fact he was not a serious candidate for this job from the jump. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Ben Jonson? Leave your opinion in the comments.